Do you think we did it right?
We did good.
Hmm.
This
Hope
is
the
good.
guys
It was
like
fun.
us.
Did you press record?
I think so. I think the button is blue there, but I'm still not sure where it's recording to. It's recording to the cloud.
To nowhere.
Do
this is so
it
much fun.
again.
Yo,
Stop
no, you
recording.
can stop. Welcome back to the podcast Rhythm and Vibes. We are your hosts, Justin and Steve, fellow music enthusiasts. Today, we will celebrate rock and roll legends, stories that shape the world of music.
Legends like me and you.
Yes.
Podcast legends. So firstly, we're going to head back to the roots of rock and roll. So how it started, the artists who ignited the spark, well, it resonates with music lovers everywhere. So
Yeah.
crank up your volume wherever you are and let's dive into the birth of legacy of rock and roll.
roll. Dun, 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 dun.
Should have taken the guitar out and played a little bit, man.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do that in the future episodes. So today we are talking about the origins of rock and roll music, where it all started, and what inspiration was drawn from other genres to start this whole new genre that is called rock and roll. So let's travel back to the 1950s when rock and roll music exploded onto the music scene. It wasn't just music.
It was a start of evolution.
Yeah, it was a cultural revolution. So that in itself says a lot about the genre, like the way it came onto the scene and took over the music industry.
If you look, what do you think of first? Chuck Berry, Little Richard,
Yes,
Elvis
Elvis
Presley.
Presley. Yes, and like Elvis, they took elements of blues, country music, gospel music, and turned up the energy. They turned up the volume. They just made it louder and more awesome, and they created something entirely new.
It's amazing. When they first start playing rock music, people's like, "What devil's music is this?" It got banned. People used to have tapes and like, "Hey, bro, you have tape here. Come, let's go play it.
Let's go play some
Let's
rock
go
and
play
roll."
some rock and roll."
It was
Because it was not allowed.
yeah. They used to smuggle rock and roll music like drugs. Here's a tape. Here's a CD. No, it was before CDs. Sorry, I
Way.
apologize. Here's a tape. Let's go sit there in the bush and then we'll play rock and roll music together.
No, it was described as you're a devil child if you listen to these beginning like Elvis or all those rock music. But it was starting because people weren't
Used to it.
ready for it.
They weren't ready for it and they weren't used to it. Because remember, at that time, I think gospel music was still big. Blues and country, they were doing the things. And
Classical.
the thing with country music, to me, it sounds sad. It sounds sad. I don't know if it's just
Yeah. So here I'm on my horsey. And I climb on my horses. Oh, my horse is lying on the floor.
you know, and to me, it doesn't really resonate with all the people. Like a small demographic will enjoy the music that is country music, but if you're gonna look at what rock music did to the music industry, it just revolutionized and it related to a lot of people. A lot more people can enjoy it because it was electrifying, it was popping, it was energetic, it gave the people what they wanted. You know?
But that's
So-
the most important thing. If you look at back in the day, everyone used to listen to just normal classical music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Classical
some
music.
classical music and some not really rock at all. I think when Chuck Berry and like Elvis Presley came into the picture, it really took the world by storm.
No, definitely.
And actually, it shaped the rock industry and the music industry forward.
Yes.
If like we said, it's a cultural revolution that happened.
And who
when
can
we-
forget Elvis Presley shaking up the world with Jailhouse Rock?
That's amazing.
That was, it was crazy. It was, there's not even enough words to describe what was done.
Hmm.
That that was a, it had a huge impact on the genre in the music scene holistically.
But if you look at Chuck Berry, for example, the Johnny Be Good, it's a very good example how that hit became a blueprint of how rock riffs were
Guitar
born.
riffs,
Guitar
yeah.
were born.
Were born,
and,
yeah.
and even the strumming of Elvis, for example, the way he
Yeah.
danced on the stage and where the music moved with him.
Yes.
It actually it psyched the people up. It
No,
was like
definitely.
it's amazing. It's really amazing.
And you were talking about Chuck Berry's guitar riffs.
Mm.
So previously, guitar solos in riffs, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. If you played an instrument in a band,
Mm.
ideally you will have like a lead vocalist that would sing the song and do like solos on the instrumental or whatever song that you're playing. So when rock came, it allowed the lead guitarist to, express himself more freely by incorporating different styles of playing, freestyling and including riffs to make the guitar sound more artistic to their will. So they didn't just play along with whatever was prescribed.
Yeah. So basically, fun fact: did you know that Chuck Berry's guitar riff actually influenced guitar legends and like Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones? Without Berry, rock might not sound.
It wouldn't sound the same today.
It would be interesting.
It would have been interesting. Imagine if he didn't take the risk. If everyone, especially the people who started the genre, like if they didn't take the risk to say, "Listen, we're gonna make these changes. We're gonna crank up the volume. We're gonna incorporate what is it called, electric guitars by using electric amplifiers and adding distortion, to give it just like a more rugged type of sound. If they didn't take those type of risks, we wouldn't know the genre of rock and how it exists today. It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same.
It's amazing. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that happened.
And especially in the era where people were like religiously inclined, like you said earlier, they used to think it's devil's music. So in that type of era, you didn't really want to take too much risk in terms of risking to upset the people and alienate them from your music to the point where they won't even support you as an artist. But still, it didn't stop the boy Berry. It didn't stop the boy Chuck Berry's. He did the thing regardless of what the people think about him. And that is how music evolved, by taking risks and doing something that is out of the norm and that you're not really comfortable with.
Yeah, and even in today's music, still back in the 80s, if you used to listen to Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall, for example, it got banned. You were not allowed to play it.
What?
And it's still people used to, like I said, you copy the music on tape,
Yeah.
and then they used to share it, and then they used to copy the tape with other, and later on it sounds like crap, but but then it's just it's rebellious,
Yeah.
and people want their music.
They want the
Sometimes
music.
if it's loud music, doesn't mean it's devil's music.
No, it's not.
It's because you listen to music because you want to make you want it. It has a connection with you.
Yes.
If you feel sad, it makes you feel better.
Yes.
And if you had a rough day, you listen to loud music. It doesn't mean you're gonna be rebellious or
No.
you're gonna break stuff down.
No.
It's just people weren't used to it.
No, they
And,
weren't used to it. And that is what allows music to evolve. When people they're not used to it, the artists, musicians, producers, engineers, they take the risks, and as time passes on, people get used to it.
Mm.
So by the 1960s, rock music was evolving fast. It was getting out of control.
Mm. Especially with the bands like the Beatles and Rolling
Yes.
Stones.
Yes,
Well, they transformed the genre.
into a global phenomenon. It wasn't just even a US thing or like a local thing. It became big on a global scale.
I remember then when we did that now the Beatles when they get back the album they did the studio album and then they decided to go play the concert live on top of the roof.
Okay.
And then when they were start playing, the cops came up and wanted to stop the concert.
It's always like that.
It's always it's like people not used to
Yes.
to it. And now these days you can do it, but back in that day, it was quite interesting. If you could actually go look up that video of Get Back, I would really recommend the documentary they made on it, on the physical studio album they did, and also the live show they did on top of the roof, and then the police, everyone in the streets looking up into the roof while they're playing. It's quite amazing.
No, I will definitely check it out. I think for research purposes, I will have to check it out. The same thing more or less happened with hip hop when it first stepped on the scene because of its rebellious nature. At like huge concerts, the police will also just come on and shut it down. And then that is when you know you've made a huge impact, like on a global stage. If the authorities feel the need to come and shut down your show.
It's because people enjoy the music. Doesn't mean they're gonna like you said in hip hop, like Eminem, for example. That's some rap music. Some of his lyrics are quite expressive about anger in his life, but it gives other people inspiration again.
No, definitely.
It's just people take it. People who don't understand music,
No.
they take it out of proportion, and then they cause more chaos.
Yes, yes. So the British invasion brought a more polished yet rebellious vibe to hip hop. I mean, rock. Why did I say hip hop? So the British invasion, their sound is a bit different from what you will get in the US.
You get like the punk, basically originates from the British.
Yeah.
And you get then when you go back to the US, it's like you get Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
How they define their movement on their side.
Yeah. So the counterculture movement, and let's talk about Hendrix.
Well, let's talk about Hendrix. His performance at Woodstock in 1969, especially when he sang or did the song for the American
Anthem.
anthem.
The
yes.
American anthem.
It wasn't just music; it was a statement, mate.
No, that
and then
was
he got
definitely a statement.
extremely
That-
famous. And then I think that's one of the shows. If I had to go back in time, I would have liked to be on that show. Not because of the drugs. And everybody's thinking about the drugs and the peace and the they probably were peace because people were so high they can't hit each other.
Thanks.
I can't swear. I can't.
I don't know.
No. It's just the music they played. Everyone went there to experience good music.
Exactly.
I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly. And let's not forget Led Zeppelin in the 1970s. They brought power in mystery to rock music. And the tracks like Staircase, Stairway to Heaven.
Staircase. Yes.
That is the same thing. Stairway, Staircase. That is still iconic today. Till this day, you can put in a Led Zeppelin song and it would bang.
I would totally agree with it. I've seen some when you used to get MTV and they used to like interview artists and even not always rock artists but like artists that originate from R&B or from from pop, for example, and they ask them what type of influence do you have, and then a lot of people say Led Zeppelin
Yes.
because that voice of Robert Plant, who is the lead singer, and then also the guitarist Jimmy Page, is it's iconic. They're legends today because
No,
they
they
bring they
definitely.
bring when they play with feeling, and then they sing with feeling.
And you can feel the emotions that was poured into the song. What was the drummer name again?
I think it was Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. It would bang the shit out of the drums, pardon my French. But that guy went crazy on the drums. And massive shout out to Moby Dick. You know, his
Rest in peace.
inspiration to drummers. I know a couple of local drummers, and I'm pretty sure they can take a few tips, in like a tip or two from Moby, and his style. His style is also iconic. You would leave him in the studio, and he would just like carry on.
There's actually one of the live shows, and then they didn't. Then they let him play for half an hour long. Really, and then they just did a drum solo for half an hour.
Half an hour, 30
Yeah.
minutes drum solo.
I had the DVD. I think I still have the DVD here
I
where
need to
they
check it out.
and he was playing, and it's non-stop, and it's just you can't stop watching because it's so
It's
powerful.
interesting and it's powerful.
And then Jimmy Page come on with the guitar riffs, and then Robert Plant comes and then he starts singing again, which was amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Um,
And that's the thing with like music, especially with bands. Once they do the thing together, they allow each other their own personal artistic expression.
That's
And that
very
is just
important.
beautiful. Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you start a band, it's a team. You need to be
Definitely.
together.
Yeah.
If you just do music just because of just music,
It's
it's
not
gonna be
the same.
lifeless. It's
Yeah.
gonna be lifeless. And a lot of people say they need to okay, I like your style of doing this on the guitar. I like your style on the keyboard, and I like and you need to be able to take criticism.
Yeah, no,
And
definitely.
obviously, as a guy, I tell you, look here, man, I don't like that drum beat. It sounds a little bit off, man. A little bit off, or your guitar is not tuned. For example, people shouldn't take offense to it. And if a band can come together and like the Led Zeppelin, for example,
Yeah.
and you can create something magical if you all work together and your main goal is to enjoy music and enjoy what you're doing.
No, definitely, definitely. I think if you take the passion and the love out of the creation of music, it won't be the same. It would just be like a lifeless spawn, more like the AI creations we hear now and then. And I think that's why we must give so much respect and appreciation towards artists that create original content
Yes.
with passion.
If you ask your mom or your family, so what was your band when you were younger, and they will actually sit back and say, "Crap, I like Elvis Presley
There we go.
and or Queen or whatever it is."
Yes,
because
Queen.
it meant something
Ooh,
for them.
beautiful.
It meant something for them.
No, definitely.
And even like the rappers and the pop and the hip hop, some of them love rock music.
No, definitely. I
It's not.
think
It's not because you're not one genre centered. You have to be all genre centered. You have to enjoy all types of music to create music.
I fully agree with you there. And what I wanted to say is where hip hop can enjoy rock music, I think is because hip hop got some elements from rock as well. And its shade is rebellious nature. You know, the same way that rock music was banned, hip hop wasn't that well received by music critics and the audience alike because of its raw form. Its artistic expression allowed the artist to just express themselves without limitations.
Exactly. It's unfortunately is when people are not used to specific music. They get people think, oh crap, no, this is bad.
This
Don't
is the
play.
devil's
And
music.
if you,
That's
and the same happens in the video game industry. And I'm not to get off topic now, but for everyone knows Mortal Kombat, for example. Everyone played it. But the first time when that thing came out, everyone said no, that is ban the game. It's too violent.
It's too
And
violent.
check today.
It's
There's like
it's
100 times more violent. Than
exactly. It's worse than it was before, and now it's almost like it's acceptable. So yeah, even as rock music evolved into sub genres
Mm.
like punk, metal, and grunge, its core spirit stayed the same:
Mm.
rebellious, raw emotions, and pushing the boundaries.
Mm. It's true. And if we fast forward to today, bands like Nickelback and the Arctic Monkeys, they carry the torch, while rock influences like Linkin Park show up in hip hop
Yeah.
and EDM music, electronic music. Rock might not dominate the chart like it used to,
Yes,
but its DNA is everywhere.
it is very much everywhere. I remember the most iconic rock and hip hop collaboration between Linkin Park and Jay Z. What is the song's name again? I think it's Encore. That thing, it blew my mind. It was it's Numb. It's Numb by Linkin Park featuring Jay Z. I know there's a remix of some sort out there, and I heard it. I was like, hey, "Yo, this is it."
I think when after Chester died from Linkin Park, um, I don't think they made a lot of music then. I know. Recently they got a new lead singer, it's a lady. She's quite good.
Okay.
She's quite good now as well. I think they're getting back up there now. I think
Yeah.
they've released a couple of new songs, so
That's good,
quite
yeah.
good.
But I
And,
think for like the older Linkin Park fans, the core fans, they might not appreciate this new person.
yeah, it's exactly the same when there's a metal rock group called Alice in Change. I don't know if you know them, but
Okay.
also the lead singer died, and then they tried to change the music, and it fans get divided. By the end of the day, it's just if you're the original artist and you still want to create music, create it. It doesn't. You don't really have to care what other people think.
Yeah,
It's about music for you and yourself.
for yourself.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a fan base. Not everyone's gonna like everybody's music. That's just how
Exactly.
it is.
No, definitely. And this is where we need to understand your core fans and then your organic fans and then just your outreach fans. So at the end of the day, the music needs to still get out there. We need to stay productive. We need to still enjoy and express our passion for music. Some things along the way, things don't always go according to plan, but we need to, make changes, adapt, and mitigate for the risk of the band breaking up. Because I've seen it happen a lot where the people, they just lose interest after one of the band members die. And then the band just take it upon themselves and be like, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. Let's break it up. And it's sad. It's quite sad.
sad, and it's not always a death of a band member, but drugs
Yeah,
and money
and money,
and depression. Because when it comes to becoming and being famous, there's a big risk involved. Some people can't take the pressure,
Yeah.
and it gets too much, and that also has an influence in the music.
No, definitely. It will definitely affect the
And
music.
that's why some people they isolate themselves for a long period of time, and then they have to find themselves again. And then you always say, "Okay, I haven't heard from this guy in 2-3 years," and then all
You
of a
know.
sudden you release another song. Sometimes it is good to take a break, but it's at the end of the day, your mental health is more important.
It's more important, yeah. So yeah, okay, trivia question for you guys. Can you guys guess which rock song has streamed over 2 billion times on Spotify? It's a classic rock anthem.
I think everyone should know that.
And it's so obvious. You wanna say it?
Well, I could just say Freddie Mercury, and everybody should know who the band is.
There we go, guys. It's Queen.
Yes.
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Yeah.
Over 2 billion streams on Spotify.
It's amazing, and they they also started off small, and then how they evolved. And their songs like "I Want to Break Free" is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
I used to have it as a ringtone on my phone.
I want to break free. Dun, dun, dun. I want to break free. That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. That's
I don't know the rest.
amazing song. Well, guys, we definitely gonna do a part two somewhere on our other episodes of Rhythm Vibes. But today we're gonna wrap up today's episode of Rock and Roll Chronicles.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today, and talking about the birth and legacy of rock and roll in general.
Yes. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us on this journey. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review or comment wherever you get access to this podcast. Follow us on all the social media handles. It will be in the description down below. And then you can follow us for more rock stories and behind the scenes fun. We're going to post content. We will post it on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, wherever you can get a hold of us. You can follow it in the links in the description. So until next time, keep rocking.
Keep rocking, guys. I want to break free.